Hello, Renee Flamond here. Thank you for joining us. Please hit that subscribe button and like, and please leave a comment. We always want to know what anyone thinks. We have a great audience here. When we're all growing up, okay, I think we all have some visual of our lives, whether it's marriage and kids, no marriage, no kids, traveling the world, being a professional, whatever it is. If we are the person who did see a certain kind of person in our life, and we did envision a coupledom and we did envision that kind of thing, I'm positive that this person that we all end up with, the narcissist meaning, is not the person we envisioned in our outlay of our life. I'm positive. We did not envision somebody that would embody this kind of dysfunction. You didn't picture this nonsense as part of anything that you envisioned. It's just normal. Of course we didn't. There were no songs on this. I mean, I always think of Nazareth's Love Hurts. The older people will know that song. But we used to crank that in the 80s throughout junior high school, and, if you had a breakup, it was songs like that got you through. And there were a couple of others I can think of. But they don't scream narcissistic personality disorder. You weren't learning anything about this kind of sinister person that ends up making you chase love. You were hearing about what you thought was a regular heartbreak, a regular breakup. Nobody was thinking that the guy or the girl duped one or the other in the way that this whole thing unfolds. I see everything. I know I'm on a tangent, but I'll get back to my point. I see everything differently now. Everything. I hear lyrics differently. I watch things differently because I have the disorder in mind. So the words aren't always used, but you can see behaviors reflected in shows and whatever that scream narcissist. There's usually a comedic twist. I want to write something that shows that it's not always a comedic twist. It can make for very funny TV situations, but there's nothing funny about this disorder, is there? And it's just not what we had in mind. It just isn't. When we envisioned our ultimate relationship, our Cinderella story, if that's your thing, which is totally mine, I've admitted that, we weren't envisioning any of this wherein we are chasing, and on this hamster wheel trying to make something better all the time, which is essentially what the narcissistic relationship is. We are always trying to make something better. We're trying to heal them, heal us, fix an argument, make something better. It's exhausting. We thought it would be a two-way street, right? When we envisioned romance for ourselves, or if that's the person that you were, and it's just natural. I don't mean I sat there and thought of a white picket fence. I didn't, but I just assumed that in life I would end up with a person. Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking, I'll go through life and never be, And I was married once. I have one child, but I'm saying I think I just automatically assumed the person would be high-functioning normal. Never envisioned any of this. Somewhere along the way, instead of the two-way street of kindness and consideration of one another's feelings, somewhere along the way we accepted way lesser than what was meant for us. We just did. For many reasons, but we got duped. Now we're stuck. Doesn't mean we have to go forth with it and continue to chase a good end result with this narcissist. That we're going to end up in love with this person. You're going to show them, make them see. No way that's right. Cinderella did not chase. I'm sorry. The art of the pursuit is a topic of significance for so many reasons. We shouldn't have to convince someone to love us, right? Prove ourselves again and again and again. We all deserve more. So rather than so we're supposed to love unconditionally this narcissist, yet they go out anyway to find something else, and then we chase to get back to what you had with them. Every time, again and again. That's not how it's supposed to be. You can't help them learn to not chase their empty dreams, but you can decide to no longer chase them. They don't even want us. They demonstrated that. Yet we chase by giving so many chances. Or we allow them to chase us and keep us on this roller coaster of back and forth. Mine used to say during the year plus post-breakup that he'd never chased anybody before in his whole life, and I'm the first one he's chased. He's probably said that to everybody, who knows. But it really was over a year, and he was like clockwork, continually every month or more. But it doesn't matter anyway. I knew what he represented was not at all what I wanted in a man. Even when they were back and forth, that was more about trying to gain an understanding of why are you doing this, okay? Then I started to learn about this, and it became easier to let go. It was a long process, though. But once I realized, I knew, even when I was in the back and forth, but he didn't represent what I wanted in a man, him trying to tell me stuff became, I don't know, amusing. Like, you're not who I deserve. Stop talking. You failed. You're not supposed to have to chase love from someone. That's not what we pictured. That's not what I pictured. I should not have to chase you down for you to love me. You had me. I was yours. And your dysfunctional self had me all to yourself. And you made me wonder, and you made me worry, and not trust, and feel insecure, and unsafe. In a forever cycle of trying to make you love me is not what I envisioned. And you know what? Cinderella didn't have to deal with any of this stuff. None of it. This is not what I had in mind, and you have to tell yourself the same thing. And you know, the title of this is tongue-in-cheek on purpose. I don't mind admitting Cinderella's my gal. I mean, it's just, and I don't mean literally a prince is going to come, but I envision that definitive end-all of somebody, they meet you, you meet them, and they just know that you are for them. And you might say, well, nobody can know that right away. You're telling us to take time. Take the time. But he knew right away. And he didn't need to see 50 other women while he's pursuing you. They don't need to, try out other princesses. He knew it was her. And that happens in life. You're not going to tell me that doesn't. I know that it does. So I will accept nothing less. And I want you to look at your narcissist and think this through. You've been chasing love the whole time. And with my tongue-in-cheek title about Cinderella, I don't want it to lose the poignant factor that the point I'm trying to make, which is we shouldn't have to chase love. None of us should. It's not right. We are all very worthy of compassion and kindness and loyal, trustworthy love that's filled with integrity and honor and respect, and nothing less. And let me tell you something. That kind of love, you don't chase that. That's either there or it isn't. You meet somebody, it can be a beautiful mutual thing, and you grow together and you get to know each other. And before you know it, you have these feelings for each other. It's a natural progression at a nice, safe pace. That's not chasing. That's you arriving at a place together. Whether or not you're on the same page every minute doesn't, that's not what I mean. You might arrive first, or but I'm saying it's more even. Whereas, the narcissist is always this unreachable target, and there we are trying to get them, and we just clip at their heels, and they keep going. That's not what love is supposed to be. I refuse to think that that's what it's supposed to be. What we thought about for our whole lives? No. Nope. And that's what the narcissist relationship was. That's what it felt like to me. That they were constantly, do you know what I mean? Because they're never quite yours, and you feel it. They let you know it. They behave like they're not. There's always turmoil. I mean, it's a mess. That is not what Cinderella had to deal with. Or whoever your person is. You know what I mean? But that is not what they dealt with. Go back to the classics. That's not what they dealt with. In Pride or Prejudice, it's not what they dealt with. And you know what I mean? Pick whatever literary reference you want. But it's not what we envisioned, and it's not fair. For anyone to make you feel, they won't tell you to chase them, but for anyone to make you feel like you have to remain in a perpetual state of back and forth that never works itself out, it's like the hamster wheel from a nightmare. That's chasing. We'll never catch the narcissist. We'll never encapture them. We'll never encapsulate their heart to the point that they're going to rest with us and they don't need to go out and do. Whoever is with a narcissist will be chasing them the whole time that they're with them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Always. So, and that's not what love's supposed to be. I want someone who meets me, knows, I know, we grow to get, and boom, now you know, there's a mutual, you know you're not going to step out on each other because you enjoy being with each other. Genuinely, you're there for the right reasons. That's what you think of. It's really not complicated. I guess it's too much for the narcissist. It's too clean for the narcissist. They like things a little messier. Doesn't mean you have to be victim to it. The minute you, again, not telling you to leave or not, but that's another thing that the minute if you were to separate from your narcissist, you notice that right away, you feel it right away, that there's no more of that chasing. You jump off that hamster wheel and it ends. You might still think about a Hoover, you might still think about that person, you might even still have some back and forth. But when you jump off the hamster wheel for the very first time, there's a sense of stoppage. And the chase can now be controlled by you. And you can choose whether or not to go back in. You can choose whether or not that you want to pursue this person pursuing you, which is essentially what we're doing. Because they'll take whatever supply gets thrown their way. They're not going to say no to us calling them back or to us inviting them over. They're not going to, oh no, I have too much supply. They'll just cheat on whoever they're with now and come see you. Do you know what I mean? So that's not what I want for myself. Once I realized that was happening, I put a stop to that. I'm not going to do that to another person. I had no idea what was going on, but I realized very slowly that that's indeed what was happening. He had a full-blown girl thinking she was his girlfriend, and he's still trying to come to me saying, how you doing, darling? You know what I'm saying? It was odd how duplicitous that was. That I'm not doing, no. The minute I realized it, no. But that's chasing, and that poor girl's chasing the whole time, and she doesn't even realize it. Which I'm sure she's probably figured it out now, and judging by the kind of things he would tell me, she had realized quite a few negative things about him. It doesn't take long for things to start to blow up. The narcissist gets restless. And I don't want anyone to ever think that that's proper. You shouldn't have to chase that. I'd rather be alone and not in love with a partner than think, I have a companion, what? So you can have a plus one? But it's somebody that isn't into you? Oh, no, no, no. No. Relationships are hard enough when people are into each other and have everything lining up perfectly. Nobody needs that extra baggage. That it's going to be somebody, A, who's a narcissist, and B, now it's the kind of person that you're going to chase the whole time. Like, even if they don't have this disorder, don't allow yourself to be in a relationship with a guy, plays it so cool that, whether, again, narcissist or not. No, nobody should have to chase anything. If somebody's interested in you, you will know. We all know that. If you're interested in somebody, I hope that you're honest and you tell them. No, I don't mean the narcissist. Nobody should be playing games with each other. We should all be mature enough and honest enough with each other. And if you're starting to see someone or you're meeting someone and they're expressing interest and you're interested too, tell them. There's no harm in that. But going forward after that, it should be even keel. Nobody should be chasing. Pursuit, healthy wooing is different. A guy playfully says, oh, I'll chase you to the ends of the earth. That's romantic language that somebody's non-disordered is using. That's not what he means. This unhealthy chase, you know what I mean? We do it the whole time we're with the narcissist. Cinderella never did it. You shouldn't do it. And if you have been experiencing that with the narcissist, which you have, if you were in a relationship with a narcissist, you experienced that feeling, then you should really consider what life would be like if you no longer had to do that. Because it's exhausting. Exhausting. I would be wiped out. After a fight long enough, or something horrendous enough, or your heart is ripped out enough, and you cried enough, and enough hours went by, and you're talking to them, and you're chasing them, and they're not calling back, and you're leaving them 50 messages. We go through all that. It's exhausting. Nobody should have to chase like that. Please keep your value in mind and know that your worth is way above anyone that would make you go through that. And they love every minute of it, and they're waiting to see how much you'll do it. Let's watch that going forward.